Hi. Today I'm going to try to recreate the tone and sound chain of one of my all-time favorite guitar players, namely Randy Rhoads, and especially his tone that he had with Ozzy Osbourne in the beginning of the 80s. You know, the 1980 Blizzard of Oz album and the 1981 Diary of a Madman album. I'm going to use a Gibson Les Paul Custom with the Super Distortion in it. This one is from 1973. Randy's was from 1974, and he kept the Gibson pickups, the T-tops, in his. On these two albums, he used that Les Paul and the Flying V, the one with dots on it, as you may have seen in Sandoval or something like that, I think, is the builder, which then have become the template for the Jackson, you know, RR models. In that one, he did have a Super Distortion pickup, like I have in here. So I think this can represent it pretty well. Then he used a Distortion Plus. Mine is from 1979. His was earlier. I think his was a script logo. I'm not going to connect that today because I'm pretty fairly confident he only used it in the solos to boost and so on. Because his rhythm playing is so percussive that one just muddies it up. But it's beautiful for the solos. Then when it comes to the amp, you know, he used a late 70s Super Lead. You can see that it is the Mark II cosmetics, and his was white. I'm using a Mark I here. They're very similar. And you're going to soon see here that the secret in the sauce is somewhere else. It's of course, it was in Randy's fingers and imagination, of course. But when it comes to the equipment, it was somewhere else than the amp and the guitar, actually. Then I'm using the Iron Man just to back off because I want to use this condenser here to record it, putting it dead center. I'm using a 112 here. Randy most likely had a full stack or a full, or at least a half stack when he recorded it. But since we're close micing and not using any room, it's going to sound very similar anyway. This is an amp, but I'm just only using the cab. This is a Peluso 2247. Then in here, we have the Altec Lansing 417 8H, and this is the Series 2 version. I don't know if he used the Series 2 or Series 1 version. They are very similar. The Series 2 is a bit darker, though. If someone of you knows more about that, it would be really interesting to learn about that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to record this, and you're going to hear the dry signal. And it's going to differ a bit from Randy's tone. Then we're going to use EQ compensation. And I've actually, I have three tracks that I found online. Crazy Train, Over the Mountain, and Flying High Again. So Crazy Train from Blizzard of Oz, and the other two from Diary of a Madman. So I'm going to match the EQ of my signal, recorded signal, to those. And you're going to see how they differ. It's quite a big difference between these two albums. I'm using the Cubase EQ matching tool here in this video. If anyone wants to know more about it, just ask me in the comments, and I'll help you out. You can do cool things with it. All right, let's go.
Thank